carnal, dice mi gente, la raza está abajo y tú estás indiferente. Prefieres cerrar los ojos, no vi nada. Estabas ocupado por andar en la tomada. Te gusta tirar el cruising todo el día, buscando a las mujeres como si el mundo acabaría. Pero no sabías que tú podías continuar tu educación para superarte en la vida. Hermano joven, levanta tu frente y siente el orgullo de ser un descendiente de los aztecas, los incas y los mayas. Ayúdame a pelear y vencer esta...
Antonio Díaz con su programa Mestizo Experience. Estamos hoy en el mes de marzo y como siempre trato de hacer un programa cada mes, y el programa, para los que están sintonizando la primera vez, es bilingüe. Hablo español y inglés y poquitas lenguas indígenas, de perdí unas cuantas palabras. As I'm saying, welcome to my program again, Mestizo Experience. And for those that have seen the program, you know it's bilingual and with some native words here and there, because we are indigenous peoples. Today is the 3rd of March, and I was going to say it in Spanish, but I'll say it in English. It's International Women's Day month. Day will be coming up, and there'll be a march here in San Antonio to recognize women, and as we all should, because as I've marched in the past, and some say, well, you're not a woman, but I'll say, yeah, but I come from a woman, and all of us do, whether you're male or female. You come from your mother, as well as we all come from Mother Earth, but we all come from a woman. Otherwise, there wouldn't be no man. Como les digo, estamos en el mes de marzo, es el mes de la mujer, y como siempre trato de explicarle a todos, más del tiempo marcho con las mujeres, porque sin las mujeres no hay vida para ningún hombre. Todos venimos de una mujer. Y con hablando de mujeres, aquí conmigo hoy tengo a la gran amiga y también miembro del Concilio Indígena de Texas, Diana Flores Uriegas. Y Diana, te doy la bienvenida. Welcome.
Thank you, Antonio, for inviting me. Y que viva la mujer, que viva. Quiero nomás decir que tuvimos una marcha en el último día de febrero, el 28, y que salí a marchar. No comencé en donde comenzaron ellos, en Quintana, pero acá en el centro me encontré con ellos.
Fueron 9 millas de Quintana Road para acá.
Pues dicen que eran como 7.
Bueno, trataron de ser 9, pero fueron como 7. Pero tú también marchaste ya aquí en el centro.
Sí.
La última parte de la marcha.
Sí, el último, para los últimos.
Porque y tenemos
yo también estoy
tenemos fotos, ¿verdad? De eso.
Sí, también agarré unas fotos también. Took some pictures, from when I started, But
you were there with Henry.
We had a lot of people.
You're there with Henry Rodriguez.
Henry Rodriguez y Rebecca Flores. Flores ayer, Power.
And
y varias, y hasta la señora que marchó de Dili. Se llama Diana, era la priest, pastor. Y estaba un nuevo bishop también ahí.
También. Un obispo.
El obispo.
Y el Pedro Ruiz.
Y Pedro Ruiz.
Tenemos que hablar.
Y Cheryl y varias. Graciela Sánchez también estaba ahí. También.
Mucha gente, muchos jóvenes.
Sí, muchos jóvenes también, sí. Y no agarramos la ruta de donde debíamos acabar en el consulario, ¿verdad?
El consulado.
Ya. Yeah.
El consulado mexicano.
Acá para el federal, ¿verdad?
La Corte Federal, donde van para las causas de inmigración.
Sí.
Pues todo esto es por las leyes estas de SB4 y las leyes de que están implementando no nomás Trump, pero Greg Abbott, en contra de la gente mexicana, en contra de todos los inmigrantes, y nosotros estamos con la gente migrante y estamos en contra de estas leyes como SB4 que prohíbe ciudades santuarias. I'm talking that we're against SB4 that Greg Abbott and Trump like to pursue with ICE, hurting people all over the place, no matter if they're at the federal court trying to go to court to file for their status, their immigration status, they get arrested right there. So you were a part of that march downtown going there, right, Diana?
Yeah, we all marched there. And it's kind of sad because a lot of people, mucha gente fue lastimada y hasta unos que mataron ellos mismos, you know, poniendo como que si ellos tenían que churiarlos, pero no tenían, los podían agarrar y a arrestarlos, pero no a matarlos, not killing them.
You're talking about Ms. Good and Mr. Pretty y varios otros but you're talking about right now in Minnesota, Minneapolis, with the killings that ICE has done there, the killings that have been going on here, even in Texas. There was a young man that just died in a fiery crash just a few days ago after he testified that it was murder of the young man last year here in Texas.
And them being U.S. citizens, you know. I mean, that's not right.
And the arrest of that Marine also, that was a Marine, a veteran, last year also. So all these murders, I call them murders, and unjust incarcerations, right? I mean, they're not supposed to put people in jail or detained when you're innocent. Diana, pues, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to march against these unjust laws, estas injusticias en contra de nuestra gente. Muchas gracias por estar ahí con todo el pueblo, ¿no? Porque salió mucha gente.
Sí, salió mucha gente y gracias por marchando, porque tenemos que marchar por justicia. We have to march for justice. When the government is doing wrong towards the people, we have to come out and, you know, demand justice. You know, because justice for all, that's what we pledge to the religion, you know. And freedom, where's that freedom? We don't have that freedom.
Unless we come out and fight for it and
yes,
march for it.
Yes, we have to fight for it.
And speak up for it. So,
you know, so we will keep walking. Yeah, we march, but we'll keep walking. And what does democracy look like? You've seen a lot of these marches that we had lately. That's what democracy looks like. So all together, united.
We'll see it in those pictures that you put up. And thank you very much again.
Thank you, Diaz.
For what you're doing, for being here.
I got him right here.
He's harassing and assaulting.
Bro, why you grabbing her so fucking tight? You're a big ass fucking man. You can't hold her?
She's a victim of sexual assault, and you're arresting her and doing that for her.
Fucking piece of shit, dude. What a piece of shit, dog.
Again, we thank Diana very much for being a part of our program, and we'll continue on. And mostly it is to do with women standing up for their rights, as they've done the United States. Again, everybody, there's I call it lies, but maybe to be nice you can call it myths that are not true. That the United States has been always this a democratic republic, and it's not so. Women didn't even get the vote until 1923 here in the United States, and there's what's called women's suffrage, where women were protesting and marching, fighting for their right to vote, fighting for their right to own property, because here women could not own their own property unless they were married, and the property was basically in the husband's name, not in their own. There's all sorts of injustices that the United States government, how it started, right, how it implemented itself. Of course, the most egregious, the worst, were the colonial times and the enslavement of African people that were importing here as labor, not just as chattel labor, which meant they were imprisoned for life, their generations, their children, and everyone treated as property. Very inhumane, very inhuman. So the United States didn't start out for white or Anglos or Caucasian European, however you want to say it, but the complexion of your skin has something to do with it. Not always your language, because a lot of these people, like today, they're coming from Slavic countries and other areas, Russia and whatever, but as long as their complexion is light, they get treated like human beings, which has not always been the case in the United States. Especially for us brown people, native people, we weren't even considered human. They didn't even want to consider us 3/5 of a person, or not even chattel property, because we're the original people. They wanted to get rid of us to take our land and tell us we didn't have land rights, so they didn't have to buy it from us. They could just take it, kill us because we were animals. We were not human beings that had to be dealt with like human beings. And the church is a part of this too. Those were the colonial times when the church decided who was human, who was not, and the government decided what percentage of human being you were, so that you could vote and keep yourself in slavery. This is the United States, okay? So women have fought against this since early 20th century, 1900s. Le estaba explicando que los Estados Unidos no siempre ha sido como son mentiras para mí, pero puede ser un mito que dicen que no es verdad, que siempre ha sido una república justa y peleando para la democracia, cuando no ha sido así. Aquí siempre mantenieron esclavos cuando empezaron. Pues empezaron primero con genocidio en contra de la gente indígena, porque a la gente indígena, hasta la iglesia, no importa cuál iglesia, la iglesia católica romana o la iglesia protestana que sea del rey James o que fuera de donde venga, luteranos, todos, no, para ellos, nosotros indígenas, gentes indígenas, no éramos humanos, porque así ellos podían robar la tierra, como dice aquí, sin cometer ningún crimen, porque eran los animales. Mientras ellos mismos en su mente y en el papel que escribían ellos, la iglesia, el gobierno, estaban decidiendo que eran los animales salvajes, que no teníamos alma. We didn't have a soul. So we were not human. No éramos seres humanos. Podían quitarnos la tierra, nos podían matar, esclavizar. No estaban cometiendo ningún mal ellos. No estaban quebrando ley ni de la iglesia ni del gobierno. Así empezó los Estados Unidos del norte. Así también empezó Nueva España, que empezó yo le llamo Abya Yala o Semanahuac, que es nuestro continente, toda la tierra, que ahora es Sur, Centro América, Norteamérica, México, Norteamérica, Canadá. ¿Cómo nos robaron las tierras? Es declarando que no teníamos derechos a la tierra, que no éramos humanos como ellos, como todos los que vinieron de Europa, los blancos. Y así persiste, porque si estás oyendo a presidente loco de Donald Trump hoy en día, él también, aunque hayan hay hispanos latinos, que ellos son de Roma entonces, ¿verdad? Y de España. No son, si se quieren llamar mexicanos, aunque ya sé que el gobierno mexicano y todos los demás nacionales que tienen, así como Colombia, los demás, todos pelean por sus fronteras, que esas fronteras las implementaron los europeos, no las gentes indígenas, aunque ahora nuestras nacionalidades personales vienen de esos partes de ahí, de ese país ahí nomás. Antes nuestros ancestros migraban por todo el continente, nos integrábamos juntos, sí peleábamos si había algo mal que iba hecho uno o no querían traspasar, respetábamos, pero teníamos derecho a esas tierras, a esos lagos, a todo lo que era la naturaleza que nos pertenecía. Todo nos lo robaron. Y ahora hacemos los ilegales. Aunque estos que vinieron de Europa, ahora ellos son los nativos. Ellos tienen los derechos a ponernos a nosotros en las prisiones, como que no somos de allá de la luna o allá de otro planeta. Nos llaman así, aliens, alianos, allá de quién sabe dónde. Like I'm saying, United States and all of these nations that exist now that has split our continent, like I said, Abya or Semanawak for us, Turtle Island, when they split it into little areas and put a nationality on it and keep us all divided. We're all proud to be from Salvador or Colombia or Guatemala or Mexico, Canada or USA, and each state. Like we're fighting against SB4. Right now, today is the last election for the primaries between the Democrats and the Republicans. And to change these legislations that this government implements, like I say, it's not always been a just democratic republic. No. The laws that have come down, like I said, women couldn't even vote. African descendants of slaves during what they call the Reconstruction era were still basically slaves, except now they say they were on contract and got paid maybe by having a check somewhere and being allowed to keep their family together, not sold as they were before, but basically still slaves into the 1940s and 50s in some states, because each state can write its own laws. Like Texas keeps writing laws attacking Mexicans at the border, attacking anyone crossing the river by putting razor blades and everything in the river, forming these laws like SB4. They tried with SB9 and then succeeded by finally passing SB4 with support from our own city police union. Yeah, San Antonio Police Officers Association filed a lawsuit on our city in support of SB4. I don't see how, because look at what it does. It makes them practically agents of ICE, and people that are already here. There's called due process. Yeah, habeas corpus, which means as long as you're here, all the laws of this land apply to you, and all the protections, because you're on the land. You're here, whether you're legal, illegal, you're an alien from outer space, whatever. The laws apply. You have due process, but they're trying to deny that. And that's what SAPOA, San Antonio Police Officers Association, should understand. And I'm bringing them up because there's a contract coming up with them in our city. They want more money. They want more police officers. Well, if they're going to be members of ICE, I say no. We don't need more. If you're going to be in support of these laws that put our community in fear to call you when either an abusive spouse is doing harm in his own house, or when someone is burglarizing or someone is assaulting you, and you're going to see a video of a young woman that's trying to file assault charges, and then she's being arrested by ICE right there while she's trying to do this. Or being arrested when you're going to immigration court, which is, like I thank Diana and all those people that finished that march from Dili at the federal courthouse opposing this behavior, this illegal behavior from this government, from our state government, because this state prohibits sanctuary cities. The federal government is trying to prohibit it nationwide with Donald Trump. It's wrong. The people should have their voice. The people should demand their justice in where they live, not people in Washington and not people in Austin that are just a few angry white people that still want to continue with their white supremacy, white privileges that they think they can impose on us. We have to become them. Nosotros tenemos que hacernos como ellos. Tenemos que pensar en nuestra mente que somos ellos. Así le estoy hablando en español porque España nos conquistó por casi 500 años ya, o más. Nuestra gente ya pensamos de que nuestra raíz viene de allá y no viene de allá. Siempre hemos estado aquí. Siempre hemos estado aquí. Estas leyes injustas, nosotros tenemos que levantar nuestra voz. Tenemos que salir a la calle, así como hemos hecho todo este año, como recientemente este sábado, Diana Flores Uriegas, mi gran amiga, estuvo en la marcha aquí en San Antonio. Todos los que participaron, todos estos jóvenes que están empezando a ser activistas, tienen que seguir levantando su voz en contra de estas injusticias a nuestra gente. I'm saying if anything, we need to make these words, these lofty writings of the U.S. Constitution, we have to make them real. We have to make them real. Because they've not been real, at least not for all of us. For white land-owning men, and land-owning is like our ancestors in the past, some of the great chiefs of the different nations, when they were sitting down and being forced to sign a treaty, would say, but why do we have to do this? How can you tell us we cannot buy or sell our own land and you want us to give it to you? Who did you buy it from? Didn't buy it. Took it by military force, conniving, lying, bacterial diseases, you name it. That's why this church says it. Whether you want to say, no, we beat you or we took it from you, no. No. Our people accepted everybody that came here. Fed those hungry people that landed on Plymouth Rock because they were starving, dying. Fed those people that landed in Costa Rica, on the islands, the Spaniards. Fed the French that landed in Louisiana, what they call it Louisiana after, like it was their land. Sold what you call, see, I'm feeding you a lot of information right now, but you check me out. Let's see who tells more truth, myself or your fake pedophile president of Donald Trump. Do some truth checking, some fact checking. The King of France sold the United States what they called the Louisiana Purchase, which was separating the English, French, and Spanish here on our continent. Sold it like it belonged to it. It never set foot over here, which started from Louisiana all the way to Canada. Sold it to them, which allowed, the United States, those 13 colonies, to expand all the way and then start invading Mexico. Start invading what was New Spain that turned into the Mexican Republic that was against slavery at that time because they had the great president of Vicente Guerrero, the first actual Afro-American president, was president during 1829 and abolished slavery. That's why all these people, you got these rednecks over here, got statues right here. This is San Antonio, Texas. You go to the Alamo, you got statues of all these slave owners. That's what it was about. That they weren't bringing freedom over here. No. They wanted to expand slavery. And that's why you had slave states and non-slave states during that Louisiana Purchase and afterwards into California, Arizona, all that, deciding if they were going to be slave states or not. Texas was a slave-owning state, and they stayed that way until 2 years even after the Emancipation Proclamation that lasted the longest. And parts of Texas stayed basically in the Reconstruction era till the 1940s and 1950s black people or Mexicans couldn't go into certain parts without getting lynched, beat up, or murdered. That's what Trump wants to bring back, and I guess that's what Greg Abbott, even though he's supposedly married to a Hispanic, also keeps pushing onto us. I call him Hell on Wheels, right? Mr. Hell on Wheels. We're supposed to feel sorry for him because he broke his back when a tree fell on him. I don't feel sorry for that heartless, soulless man that puts razor blades in our river so that women trying to escape violence in Central or South America can drown with their babies. No. I don't care about his broken back. We need him out. We're in the primaries right now. See, all this government, I'm talking history, up to the present day. We need to change all these injustices. We all need to be equal, with equal rights, equal opportunities on our own land. This is our land. We're not aliens. We're not illegal. I don't care how they write it up. This is the same white people that came over here writing things against how to own people and how to keep women from having the same rights. All these things. We've been fighting to change it. We got to keep fighting to change it, to have equality for everybody. Same opportunities in education, health, housing. Como decía Emiliano Zapata, libertad, tierra y justicia para todos. Por eso estamos luchando, por eso estamos peleando, por eso seguimos marchando en pie, levantando la voz para terminar las injusticias en contra de nuestra gente. No es bien quedarnos callados. Antonio Díaz con su programa Mestizo Experience este mes de marzo. ¡Que viva la mujer! ¡Y que viva Antonio Orendain!
I was born where the earth still knows my name, where they tried to drown our roots in shame, a land made poor by stolen gold, by lines they drew to keep us cold. They took the wealth and left the scars, left the children praying to the stars. My mother's hands still know the way to braid the past, to grind the maize, to cook the corn they tried to erase. Her voice went quiet under hate. Another dawn, another breath, life still blooms beside a death. I come from pueblos split in two, where rivers speak but flags say no, where poverty was planted deep so distant crowns could rise and sleep. They said stay where you belong. After stealing land and leaving songs, they drained the soil, then sealed the gate and blamed the child they displaced. Yo soy la voz del maíz, el eco de los abuelos aún por venir. No soy ilegal, soy mis naciones en mí. Soy mix zapoteco, rara morir. I'm every tribe they try to divide, every tongue when they try to hide. The blood remembers even when we forget. We are the sun that refuses to set. No borders, no names, no shame. We are the fire before the flame. The original people, the first, the last, the future dressed in the echoes of the past. They call me alien, immigrant invader, but the land calls me king, calls me ancestor. I didn't cross no borderline. The border crossed my people's spine. Cut us in pieces, split our neck, buried our truth and raised our claim. From Mexico to Guatemala, from El Salvador and through shadowed miles, we walk a path soaked in our tears. They swear was never ours to find. The welfares where we're denied, the hunger where they made us hide. This earth remembers every step, even if the law forgets. My bones still know this ground by heart. They tell me leave, but I was part. They say the past is dead and gone, but empire just changed its uniform. The chains look clean, the lies look new, but power still speaks and stolen tongues too. Yo soy la voz del maíz, el eco de los abuelos aún por venir. No soy ilegal, son mis naciones en mí. Soy mix zapoteco, rara morir. I'm every tribe they try to divide, every tongue they try to hide. The blood remembers even when we forget. We are the sun that refuses to set. No borders, no names, no shame. We are the fire before the flame. The original people, the first, the last.
¿Qué onda, carnal? Dice mi gente, la raza está abajo y tú estás indiferente. Prefieres cerrar los ojos, no vi nada. Estabas ocupado por andar en la tomada. Te gusta tirar el cruising todo el día, buscando a las mujeres como si el mundo acabaría. Pero no sabías que tú podías continuar tu educación para superarte en la vida. Hermano joven, levanta tu frente y siente el orgullo de ser un descendiente de los aztecas, los incas y los mayas. Ayúdame a pelear y vencer.